Everyone, this is Kai from WCC, and today we're looking at the new Dark Irregular stuff from the new Phantasmal Steed Restoration set. Now, Dark Irregulars, DI has gotten some really good stuff. This new set for them is absolutely amazing. Makes up for the lack of good support from their first and second installments, but unfortunately for them, all the other clans got some really good stuff too, and we're entering a metagame where it's very Excel focused. You got Pale Moon, you got Murakumo, both very dominant Excel decks, so it makes their life pretty bad. Also, you've got like Force clans like Shadow Paladin, which is supposed to be a decent matchup for Protect, but a lot of the Force clans nowadays has gotten some really nice gimmicks. Shadow Paladin multi-attacking very well, got Danger Line, even like things like Royal Paladin has like drive checking rear guards. So Protect right now, that nice little triangle where it beats front Force clans all the time, that doesn't really apply now. You're just in a really weird spot. So let's look at the new Dark Irregular stuff. It's still very good. One of the probably the best Protect deck right now. And go through the new stuff, see all the staples, how to build them. Then we'll go through 3 decks. I've got 3 decks prepared. One of them is focused on just pretty much everything is new. Is new cards. So if you're new to Dark Irregulars, that's where you can go. Then there's one that's didn't win, but it did very well in a trio tournament in Japan. So we'll look at that deck, and then we'll look at a deck that is more focused around just being balanced at all the different ratios. Okay, so let's start off with this new one. You can see everything in this deck is pretty much from the new set, except for your draw nulls, because unfortunately they didn't reprint that, so you have to go back in time and get those cards. But the rest of the stuff, you just got a bunch of new Dark Irregular stuff. This is exactly what you need, okay? So first off, we are looking at the best card that DI has gotten, and that is Brufus. You see that laser shooting out from his chest. Very nice card. This is the epitome of what new DI wants to do. Old DI was all about soul charging a bunch of random things. Hopefully you don't hit any of your triggers and then you trigger them. New DI is all about soul charging specific things from your deck, from your drop zone, from your damage zone. Nowhere is safe from your soul charging, and you're just targeting the specific ones so you can compress your deck and then trigger your crits and win the game. Brufus does exactly that. This first effect will let you search your deck and pick up to 3 cards with the same name. And then if you have a card with the same name in your soul, you may put one of them into your hand and the rest into your soul. So interestingly enough, with this effect, you can just search for 1. You don't have to search for 3. And then you can just always add that to your hand and soul charge nothing as long as you already have a copy in your soul. Very good. It compresses your deck, does exactly what you want it to do. It's got a second effect too. When he attacks, if you have 2 or more grade 3 cards in your soul, you choose a card on the field, you retire it, and it gains the power and crit of that card. So it can get crit pressure pretty much. If your opponent is playing Force 2, you get 2 more crits on top, so it has 3 crit. Very nice. It's a really good pressure card that Dark Irregulars really need. And the good thing about new Dark Irregulars is that it gets a lot of cards that gain power passively. So if you don't have a booster, you can at least still hit Force clans. Old Dark Irregulars felt really bad when it was just 12k base power, and then you had to boost to actually hit a 13k Vanguard. And against things like Kagero, where they retire, you just feels really bad. The new stuff will always hit them, doesn't matter, because they get power. So Brufus, perfect card, exactly what Dark Irregular needs. Pretty much a staple for every single DI build in this format right now. The rest of your grade 3 build, grade 3 cards in this deck is just pretty much whatever. Variance Drag Form, a utility card, basically gets you a card that you need from your soul. That's about it. And then Hope on Dump is your finisher. In standard, it's not that easy to get 20 soul. Otherwise, if you do, your opponent has to guard with 20k base value guard all the time. So he has to call like 15 and 5, 20s, 2 10s. And he has to call like that. He can't call like a 15 and 15. No. He can't do that. So pretty decent finisher. But Dark Irregulars actually has a good finisher at grade 2 as well. And because of how the new Dark Irregular soul charges, that finisher is possibly better. So we'll get to that soon. Pretty much that one's pretty much a staple too in the new DI builds. So let's look at that. We've got the new Emblem Master from grade 2. This is really good. Hits hits over 13, so just passively does what you want it to do. Also is a pretty decent guard in hand, but the on-play effect, Counterblast 1, you can choose one of your cards on the field and soul charge 3 cards from your deck or drop zone with the same name as that card. So again, targeted soul charge. You can pick your Vanguard, you can pick any rear guard. Very nice. You get it from anywhere except your damage zone, but you've got other cards that can get things from damage zone, so that's not an issue too. And it'll basically fulfill your soul charge quota very, very easily. And this is going to feed into this card that we're going to look at right now, and that is Variance Hard Leg. This is your other finisher, and it's at grade 2. What it needs is 3 sets of 3... Kind of hard to explain it in English. You need 3 sets of 3 cards of the same name in your soul. So, as an example, you have 3 NLKs in soul, 3 Emblem Masters in soul, and 3 Variance Drag Form in soul. It fulfills that condition. And then when you have that, this is on play, when you have that, your opponent has to guard with 3 or more cards for the entire turn. So that's very nice. That means when you're attacking with just 3 columns, you're going to be dropping like 9 cards from the hand, which is excellent. But then you've got things like NLK as like an old card, or like No Life King, You've got Master of the Fifth Element. Then they're dropping insane amounts of cards, so they have to no guard at some point, and it feels good, right? So this is your finisher, pretty much a staple in Standard at the moment. So got 4 of this. And then you've got these 4 Icicle Resistance. This is a filler card, but it basically fulfills your soul very well to hit that hard leg requirement. When you intercept, you can just put it to soul, all good. And then the other effect is that you may just bind that from soul and then give a card 10k. So on your finisher turn, you can trigger hard leg, and then you can soul blast this out and then give something 10k and make it hit numbers. You can also do it with Hope on Dump. Hope on Dump comes into play, triggers, and then you can soul blast this out to give power. Moving on to grade 1s, the staples here are Yellow Bolt. This new Yellow Bolt, very good card. Pretty much will always hit 13k because you're going to be just attacking into grade 2 or highs a lot of the time. And if you're not, then you don't need that plus 5k. But the other good thing is that the soul charges. So remember Brufus's effect that you need a grade 3 and you need 2 or more grade 3s in soul. With the first effect, you can easily pull that effect off, but you still need that 1 grade 3 in soul first before you can just search your deck and put more grade 3s in soul. So this kind of helps you out in just randomly soul charging and hopefully hitting a grade 3. Otherwise, there's a nice on-ride effect where you can just soul charge 2 and draw a card from that too. The other big staple card is Variance Killer Tail. This one is just rest, pick a card from your damage zone or drop zone and put it into your soul. And if you've soul charged from the damage zone, you just put a card from your deck, and then top deck, put it as the damage zone face down. Now, if you have 3 Variance Killer Tail in soul, after that, you may countercharge 1 and stand this unit. So you basically get a free countercharge and basically a free soul charge too. So this combos very well with Emblem Master. You put this out in grade 1 early, and then you ride an Emblem Master, and bam, you have 3 of these Killer Tails in soul. Good times for you. Otherwise, if you don't pull the combo off, you draw multiple Killer Tails, you can just put them in back row and then just soul charge of everything. And then your front row, because they gain power, they'll just hit things anyway, so it's not too bad. So very stable card. Targeted soul charge, again, very, very important. Will basically allow you to hit those hard leg requirements easier. And the rest of the deck is just 8 crit, 4 draw, and 4 heal. So this is basically the new stuff deck from the new set. Let's look at a more competitive build, right? So this one has a heavy emphasis on grade 3s. The reason is that when you want to do those random soul charges, you want to hit a grade 3. And you want at least like a grade 3 to go to damage, then you can put it into soul, and then again, you're done, right? But this deck runs these Alluring Succubus as well. This one is pretty much a grade 3 searcher. You counterblast 1, you put into soul, and look at top 7 cards. Pick up the 2 grade 3 cards, put 1 into your hand, and put 1 into soul. So it will basically satisfy that 1 grade 3 in soul condition for you to trigger off with Brufus. But it's also running better finisher cards too, like No Life King here. Nice restander. We all know what it does from Premium before, when it was a very dominating force, but this was basically your finisher since set 1 of Dark Irregulars. It's still a solid card, hits big numbers, restands, or re-rides. I mean, you can re-ride this or re-ride a Brufus. all good. And then with like hard leg, basically another attack where they have to guard with 3. Master of the 5th element as well. This is basically your ultimate finisher. Restands the whole field, including itself, but you just lose all your soul. But again, combos really well with hard leg. And then you can see that you're only running 8 grade 2s, but that's all the grade 2s that you really need. And then again, you got your staples at grade 1 and with 8 crit and 4 draw, because critting is good. Now, if you are uncomfortable playing with a heavy grade 3 emphasis like that, you can just play a more balanced build. Here, we just cut out the variance drag form, the utility card, and just playing the No Life King and the Master of the 5th element. At grade 2, we've added in some Witterwolf Seegers. This is basically just a nice card that hits 14k, and then when you attack it, when it's on Vanguard, you get Soul Charge 2. So just a very basic effect. We're just looking at it where it gets plus 5k. Alright? And then here we've added some dimensional creepers. This one is just when you have a grade 3 in soul, it gets 5k, so it's just basically hitting for 13. And then the other additional effect is that you can counterblast 1 and put it at the bottom of the deck, and then just soul charge 3. So it can help you just soul charge and try and hit something, but otherwise it's basically there for just hitting numbers, hitting that 13k, hitting a good amount. The reason why we don't really play Doreen anymore is because we do have targeted soul charge, but we don't soul charge as much as before, so the power gains you gain from Doreen is not as insane as before. Otherwise, if you don't like Dimensional Creeper, you just replace this with more alluring Succubus to just hit your Brufus as soon as possible. I think it's perfectly fine. So it's up to you, whatever you want to switch, and then 8 crits, 4 draws. Again, I don't really, with Dark Irregulars, this is the only clan that I really don't want to play more than 4 draws, because you can still deck out even though you have more targeted soul charges. So overall, that's pretty much it. Those are the 3 decks I've been playing around with Dark Irregulars. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and next we'll just finish off with probably Shadow Paladin. So see you in the next video, guys. Bye!